Good morning, world. Top of the morning-ish to you. We're top to the mid of the morning. We are trading futures on prop firms. Anything happen since I last saw you guys at like 11 a.m. yesterday? Anything interesting happen? Let's switch to our different view and let's just watch. Let's watch what happened. Okay. Let's go to like the 15 on the NQ and let's just see what happened after about 11 o'clock yesterday. We were having a tough trading day yesterday. It's been a tough week, I'm not going to lie. This was our previous high of day. You can recall that we were trying to go long on this break of the prior day high. But here we are. Let's see. We are at 11 a.m. right here. This is right when I left. And then this is about 1 o'clock-ish. Man, I gotta move this fucking thing out of my way. 12:30. 12:30, we get Trump tweet. I don't even know. I wasn't at home. I was out doing stuff. Trump tweet launched us 300 points. And then, after breaking out, because remember that was the prior day high that I wanted to go long from, continued to bull flag it all the way up. Break up. Bull flag it up all night long. Break up. We got some interesting data this morning. It was actually positive job news. But then we got some data about 10 minutes ago that was less good on the PMI, I think, manufacturing PMI. And then we're going to get more data at 10 a.m. So I'm not placing any trades. We're watching VIX versus 25. We're watching oil versus 100. Go ahead and put a nice line here for our $100 oil. I'm going to make this one pretty. Okay. VIX at 24.97. The NQ, this is on the 15. Let's hop it over the 2 minutes. This is where I like to watch. We got positive news via peace tweets in the morning, and then Iran did some tweets of their own right around the time we got bad data around 9:45, and we have not been able to best this high. I'm just gonna, for our amusement, while we're not trading over here, let me just show you the change it for y'all. For a bit. All right, now we're ready to rock and roll. That's a TopStep combine right there. Notice that we blew it and reset it yesterday. We're at 1500. Let's see if we can pass this bad boy today. Not loving what I'm seeing over here on the VIX versus 25. I'll throw a line there too, because that's kind of our line in the sand. 25. And I believe I have a couple other pivots to think about on the VIX. So we've got bullish momentum potentially from yesterday here in the market. Big move up. You know, from that 12:30 candle yesterday, we are currently up 600 points. All right, let's see. VIX pivots 26. 1. Yeah, I already got that on my chart. And 2705. I was at 2730. That's cool. All right. So you can see our big wick up here. This is from the first Trump tweet. And then we've not been able to break above since. Is this going to be yet another typical week in the markets where we find new highs Monday only to sell it off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, repeat? We can even make a new high Tuesday, even into Wednesday pre-market. We've not been able to break out from those highs any day for like since fucking January. All right, I'm seeing VIX basing over the 25 level, not bullish. We're waiting for data in 3 minutes. And you know what? I'm going to be a little bit more professional. I'm going to show you two things. I got to go to Twitter. I will one day maybe call it X, but it's not that day. I want to see, how could I find this? So anyway, Maybe Dilly has something from it. There's one particular tweet that I want you guys to see. This guy. MB Ghalibaf apparently is the foreign minister of Iran, and he has been on fire. You guys seeing this? Let me squish this over a bit. Does that look better? Almost. I'll make sure the tweet shows up. That's the main thing. There we go. Okay. Let's look at some of these guys' other tweets. See if she's got them. I can just search them. We're looking for MB Gal. There he is. Give this dude a follow because check him out. He tweeted Monday. There's a lot of propaganda happening over there, so we're not going to read too much into his tweets. But I do want to just point this out to y'all because we're talking about all the crime that we've been seeing with these after-hours pre-market tweets. People made hundreds of millions on an oil short last week, right when Trump tweeted. Insane, corrupt, not necessarily illegal, but fucking crime. We're going to just call it fucking crime. All right, so I'm just going to read this to you. Heads up, pre-market so-called news or truth is often just a setup. You can see my cursor over here. Often just a setup for profit taking. Basically, it's a reverse indicator. If this remains true today, we will not exceed the high from pre-market. So do the opposite. If they pump it, short it. If they dump it, go long. This guy might have some truth. All right, 10 a.m. We got some data. Let's see how it looks. Can't even see the dang chart. It's up so high. All right, data is in. And just to be clear, I should have done this a little earlier. I'm logging on a little earlier than I typically do. Wednesday, we did jobs at 8:15, retail sales at 8:30, and at 9:45 we had that S&P PMI, which was a little negative. That gave us our dump. Now, ISM manufacturing. Let's see how the chart likes it. Just a reminder, up here is our pre-market high with the Trump and dump. So I don't know that I love longs, especially up here in the 24,200s. I feel like we've sold off from here like all the damn time. Let's look over here on the daily. Or on this 24,000 mark. I feel like this has been death. Uh-oh. What is this? What are these daily EMAs that are about to line up? Let's just look. Our 20 and our 200 are about to potentially, again, these are lagging indicators, EMAs. If the 20 crosses below the 200, that is an extremely bearish, like bear death cross of death. It's not good. It's not good. Oh, we were looking at this 21,200-ish. Yep, so 21,400 was the previous cap, but I remember this from previous trauma. The 24.2s were problematic. This is the 24 level. Feel like we were a little above here once. Oh, 20. The daily. See how we just went a little bit below our pivot here on the daily last week. This is what surprised me. We dipped extra hard last week. Anyways, this 24,200 to 24,400, I'll even go 24,700 at the uppermost is Sketchtown. These 24,000s have been rough all the way up to 25K. And the fact that we didn't just moon directly up there yesterday tells me that maybe the market is getting a little wise, just like MB Gandalf, whatever that guy. Sorry, I don't know his name. I gave him a follow on Twitter. I'm doing my part. Seeing VIX under 25 here. This is an interesting development. I'm going to flip this from the 2 to the 5. 2 can be a little misleading on VIX. This is the 5 on oil as well, which is perked up, finding a little bit of support here at the 98 level, 98.50 even. Still a little under the weather. Sorry about my voice. Try not to cough or clear my throat too hard into the microphone. Okay, so this 25 area is very interesting on VIX. We just tested the prior day low, which was like 25.12-ish, 25.13. And now we're rejecting below. This could be a bullish situation. What you do? Just a combine over here, just on micros. Still not trusting this 24.2s. I don't love them. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm seeing top wicks form. I'm seeing dojis over here on the UVXY, which is not broken below prior day low or pre-market high. Check this out. Pre-market high, prior day low. Important levels here on the UVXY. As long as we're above these levels, I cannot in good conscience feel like this is going to go a lot higher, especially given where we were here. Over here at 9:40, 9:38 a.m., we were below those levels. At this, we were almost about to make a high until we reclaimed over here on UVXY. We can't trust this. We can't trust this bullish move whatsoever. So that's why, you know what, even we can watch the UVXY. I watch them on a different screen, but I'm actually seeing this on the 5-minute basing above pre-market high. That tells me that this could be a big old sell-off. Let's watch what happens. Now that we've identified how the crime works, thanks to our friend from Iran, such, dude from Iran. Let's just see what happens. You guys see my chart? Yeah. Again, here's our levels that we're watching in the 23.2s. In fact, we could even just get close in here on 23.200, right where it rejected. Almost wicked to 200. It was 194. Okay, UVXY testing the pre-market high. If we see it break down hard, I will go long, but just not crazy about this whole situation at this level. Why can't we? Sorry, just fiddling with my chart. It's a thing to do when you're not taking a trade. So, we perhaps in the last 24 hours, let's say, our president has solved war in the Middle East. His best boy Jared delivered on peace in the Middle East. I am not so sure. And I reckon the market is not so sure. But, of course, I'm more cautious because I've been getting my ass handed to me all week. Just a little bit of review for those who don't know me. My name is Ian. This is Trading for All Audiences. I'm new at this. This is like my second week. I've been trading for 3 years, which in trading years is only a baby trader. I said yesterday I could even be considered like a toddler trader because I have actually successfully lived for the last 3 years trading, but like a toddler, I am only mobile enough to get myself into a pickle, which is where we've been this week, where I've been on the wrong side of trades, not taking my losses well, moving stops around, not really being patient on the trigger like I am right now. That's why I'm doing a bit of talking. So anyways, I'm Ian. It's lovely to see you. Come join us over here at Trading for All Audiences. We try to make it easy for everyone to watch. We're not doing anything too advanced in our technical analysis. I've got pivots. I've got EMAs. I've got a little bit of a momentum indicator. The long is developing that I described. But that UVXY level is all that I'm watching. So I watch volatility, I'm watching oil, and then I'm just trading the NQ, NASDAQ futures via prop firms. This is TopStep on your screen to my left. And I don't love trading up here, so I might not do much today. I feel compelled that I need to right my ship this week. We're down about 500 on the week. I don't love that. Money is a bit tight these days. We don't want to be flippant with our dollars. So I'm going to be taking it real slow on the resets for the rest of this week. I am not convinced that the bottom is in one bit. You know, I was looking for it all last week. That's when I wanted to find the bottom, but it was not wanting to be found. Oh, there goes the UVXY. Will it bounce off of this little EMA cluster right here? We shall see. Oil's getting a rejection from 99. I would normally chase this, but I am not inspired with these rejections that we see here. Setting up something that could, even if we break above this level at 190, we've only got up to 245. I don't trust that shit one bit. No, sir, I don't like it. Now, am I going to take a short? Could be convinced. Especially with this UVXY, if we get a bounce even above that 52 level, that could be interesting. But right now, it's just kind of a no trade zone for me, guys. Now that all the data is out, the market is digesting. Let's see what it decides. I could scalp a little long for a pop up to 200 from 170s. Oil futures over here under 99. Let's see what happens with this area. If we hit 98 and sell further, we've got room all the way down to 96. That's good for, I think, a couple hundred points in the NASDAQ. I mean, well, no. We'll call that 100 points in the NASDAQ. That's what history has showed us thus far. Seeing UVXY doing a dance. VIX 2466 is good, but remember, we've not broken down from the low, while UVXY is trending up. Make of that what you will. Seeing a little bit of a bottom wick on the VIX forming 2466. It's not on your screen, but that's the bottom wick that you're seeing on the UVXY. They measure the same thing, allegedly. I'm not so sure. That's why I have them both on my screen over here. Check this out. I watch it on the 2-minute sometimes. This UVXY is a tricky little minx. Check that out. Look at this candle on the 2-minute. Above prior day low, but below pre-market high. It is quite a long-legged hammer. A little bit of a hanging man, but I tend to think, as far as hanging mans go, it's a bullish hanging man because of the long legs. It's a long legs hanging man. I consider those to not be bearish. It's bullish for me. It's bullish for the VIX is bad for the market. That's all I got to say about that. All right. Well. Now we're about to form here on the 2-minute a mirror move, which is sort of like a long tail wick followed by a long top wick. And then back at the 5-minute, that just makes a doji. Indecision. Doji is like a question mark, like maybe up, maybe down, who's to say? Ask again later is kind of what a doji says. If the chart is a magic 8-ball, doji says ask again later. I'm not so sure yet. Look at that! A bounce! Even though it's just a 5-minute, you can even draw a little bit. You want to do some drawings? Let me get my drawing situation set up. Oh, it's not plugged in. That's why. Ha! All this time I'm like, my software! No, it's the fingerwares. Plug her in. There we go. We're up. Okay. Now, can you please work all applications? You know what? Can I even make it work for TradingView? Cool. Oh, are you able to get off of my screen? No. Well, I want to draw in TradingView, but my monitor situation is not allowing that yet. I'm going to have to explore that another day, but anyways, I was going to just draw a quick little trend line. Let's see what happens. We can even like elaborate on this, making it a little bit of a. This is on the UVXY. Again, this is just a 5-minute doji, 2 minutes left in it. It bounced up, but then it rejected off this little trendy liney. Market has a bit of a trend line of its own, but again, look at the rejections. Mega pre-market rejection. So this is all in a. Let me show you on the 1 minute. Not you. 1 minute. Let's look at that pre-market move because it got faded instantly. It was instantly rejected, which tells me that algorithms picked up peace, yay peace, but every retail and institutional trader in the world said, "I'm with the guy from Iran. We short this bullshit." So all the crime and ridiculousness of last week, it's not working so well this week, which tells me that we're going to get some kind of an escalation because the cabal have squeezed all they can out of this particular market move. They caught the move down. They caught the long yesterday, clearly with insider information. I'm sure we'll see something from Unusual Whales today about strange bets that were placed around 12:35 yesterday, right around the time where I fucking quit for the day because the price action was terrible. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, UVXY, decision time. I'm watching it on the 2. You can continue to do that over here too. That's fun times. On the trend line. We're respecting the EMAs. I would even take it if this was not the UVXY. If we were to dip down to there, I would love to grab a long there. I don't happen to trade it, especially not in prop firms, but I have traded in the past via options, and it sucks. It does not pay well. It's a tough instrument to trade in any direction, but it is a good indicator for me. What this is displaying to me is where short-term volatility is. On my other screens, I have VIX futures, although they're currently hiding. Futures, where are you? Oh, they're gone. Well, anyways, I sometimes watch the VIX futures. They're not currently on my screen. Seeing oil here with a little bit of a precipitous decline, along with UVXY's precipitous decline, perhaps we could get that long. Trying to break above the 200. But remember what I said about potentially longing this UVXY around there. It's bouncing right around there. Till it makes a decision about these trend lines, we can't really touch it confidently in any direction. Look at this top wick. Could have been a good short, knowing that this was going to bounce. I mean, not that I know. I just, I assume. Look at that. Best top wick we've seen all day, except for the pre-market bullshit shenanigans. Still no trades taken today. Waiting. This 191 level remains resistance until proven otherwise. There's the bounce on the UVXY. I wish it was easier to say. I like saying the VIX, but the VIX, if you want to just for comparison's sake, if you're watching the VIX, it's kind of boring. It's a little unreadable. Hey-oh, there it is. A little late to the party, but the UVXY, it showed us early. Where that bounce was happening. Now it's still rejecting the trend line. Decision time, UVXY. Let's get up in there. What's going to happen? Will we break up? Will we break down? My finger is on the trigger. I'm ready to decide. Once it decides. Looks like a little bit of a top wick happening. Okay, we're below the trend line. We can still get this bounce, a pretty nasty one, off the prior day low. And I would even venture to say like all the way down to 51.75. Now, just for a treat, I'm going to do something else for you guys. Watch this. This is the Rocket Scooter. Shout out Matt at Rocket Scooter for his genius platform. This gives me really high confidence pivots for the whole day. Over 637 on SPY, which is currently not up. Yeah, we're way above there. We're 652. Yeah, we're way above half gap. So 654. As long as that holds, I'm pretty bullish SPY. Watching this UVXY and oil combo dump. Combo dump could be good for the market, but so far, market don't buy it. Anyways, over here, in the rocket scooter, check this out. When I look at UVXY, I get to see where the UVXY pivots are, you guys. Check that out. This is why we can't break any lower here. This is awesome. Check this out. You go away. Is this so squished? How does that look for you guys? I guess not so bad. Okay. So our half gap is the really important one, 51.60. Look at that. Look where we bounced over here. 51.75. We just did an SR flip over here off of the pre-market high. This is not bullish. Not bullish the market. I would love to see a huge dump in rejection, but I don't know. I don't know. Look at that big move up. This all happened at 942 off the bad data, off the PMI. So over here, you see we got to get below 51.60. You know what? Let's just put these motherfuckers on the chart. 51.60. It's a little crowded, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. 51.60. That is our half gap. Let's make this a... And we're gonna middle that one. And it's gonna be dots. Okay. I told you. Half gap on the UVXY. Now, the next most important level, right below there. This is why I'm not bullish whatsoever at this point. You can see on my chart at 51 evens. Boink. Now this one gets a little bit of a special treatment because it's dang monthly hedge pressure, y'all. Okay, so until we get below those levels on the UVXY, I'm loving the breakdown here. Look at that, even a little gap down. Let's see what's going to happen to the market. Let's see what's going to happen to the market, guys. Will we get that pop above 200, only to be rejected again over here at 240s? We could. Nice top wick on there. I'm going long. I'm long one. Oh, right as oil bounces. That was a terrible entry, guys. Terrible. Terrible. Seeing a lot of action happening on the tape here. It's getting spicy. Fix. Getting the bounce. Watching closely. It's a pre-market high rejection on UVXY is promising for upside. It's not looking great right now. All right, 276. It's $2.76. I got out of there pretty much break even because I'm not convinced until we're below these levels, guys. Taking it real easy. Up here at resistance. Longing at resistance is never a great idea, even when you see the rejections you want to see. This is actually a little bit of an evening star reversal happening on oil on the 5-minute. That is not great for markets, but let's just watch. VIX looks like it's heading down. Okay, here comes the push to 200. Around 184. Rejection. That's the rejection I wanted to see on the UVXY, but there's so much support below. I think this is a false breakout, y'all. I think we're going to see a false breakout on the market. I think we're going to make a new high of day, which is above 200. We might even test 240, and then we're going to dump-a-roo off of one of these levels. We're going to either bounce off the half gap on the UVXY or on the MHP. Let's watch. Wonder if the bulls are going to fall for it. I wonder if we're going to fall for it. I'm watching close. Watching real close. Okay, there's the breakout. Over 200. Will it reject? Around 240. See, new high of day. Not for pre-market though, just in regular trading hours. That was the trade I wanted off the rejection on UVXY. So I could have gotten, like 30 points there. Quick teleport up. But I'm not sure that I trust it. Don't think I trust it. Okay, seeing the rejection off of 200. Was it a false breakout? Was I right all along? I mean, I don't love being right about that. Let's see. Let's find out. Now it's testing the 190s, which is kind of like the top of these candles. We could get a bounce from there. UVXY is still holding our levels. Need to see a big dump on the VIX before anything happens. Don't see why the market would want to go up anymore from here. I'm going to flip this over to the 2-minute. I feel like there's less false signals. For example, top wicks look a little more convincing on the 2-minute. Still need to sort of like test these levels again. There we go. Okay, so now we're testing this candle. We'd even come down to the bottom of that candle, wick the EMA, and then head up. Watching this VIX formation. Interesting. Again, this is a 2-minute. 5-minute. We are under the trend line still. Nope. It was a short after all. Get that tap on the EMA? No, knifing through. UVXY getting the bounce. Will it reject from the trend? Wow, check out the bottom wick out there. Oil and VIX still look like they're trending upish to me. Holding support even. Watching here. And you know what? Okay, and that's another long-legged hanging man that formed on the 2-minute. This is the 1-minute over here. Still not getting continuation off of the one pop. I guess that would have been the pop to short. Holding EMAs. Still not seeing decisiveness from the VIX or from oil. Not compelled to take a trade here. I am seeing some bouncing action on the UVXY, which is not bullish for the market. This is I've developed this trading strategy. Clearly, it's a little bit flawed. I'm still ironing it out, but it's keeping me out of this trade, this indecision that I see from my three panels over here. Shout out to my Beagle. Barnaby the Beagle, making his first appearance on stream. He's a good boy. So realizing that my camera is like, hopefully zoom back, because this is about as close as I'm getting. Let's fuck with the camera. Mark is not doing anything right. Exposure shift. What is that? I like that a little bit better. Missed the beat. Yeah, I think I prefer that. Okay. Now, obviously, since I'm new at this whole layout situation that you're seeing here is not perfect. You have to work a little bit too. That could be part of a future stream. Not in focus. The bed is in focus. That feels right. There we are. A little blurry still. Okay. Get up and focus on the chair. There we are. Okay. That should do it. Thanks for the patience, everybody. I'm still new at this. Oh, and we're out of focus when we get up there. Sure. Back. All right, little bit closer. In focus, out of focus. Focus. In focus. Awesome. Okay, we can live with this. I'm happy here. I'm out of focus when I get that close, but I don't really think I should be this close. All right. We are just trapped at these levels. Still ready to take a trade if a trade presents itself. We are kind of getting a little bit of a trend push here, but these tops are tricky. And there's the big top from pre-market still waiting to test. So I don't know that I totally love any. Yeah, I don't love a trade in any direction right now. VIX is trending down. UVXY is bear bull flagging. You know, I always get those backwards. You notice that the VIX and the NQ have like the same chart. It is a 2 and a 5, but same trend. Somebody's lying. Oil, a little bit of a rejection. We could get the push up to 240s here. Let's see. Oil under 99. We get a big dump on the VIX, we'll see it. We'll see it. And then we can maybe get that push up to pre-market. Now we're over 200. That is short-term bullish. Okay, there goes oil down. Let's see if UVXY gets a bounce off of half gap. If so, this would be the short. Market pushing up at 213. There's half gap on the UVXY. Oil breaking down a little bit on the 5-minute. Top wick forming. I'm short. Now, I'm going to build a short here, expecting a bounce. But I see oil dumping, which generally is positive for the market. So the market could push here. So tight stop. There we go. Want to see that extend beyond the bottom of that wick. Okay, so far so good. UVXY is getting the bounce that we wanted. Will oil also put in a bounce? Okay, we're at about a 1-to-1 trade here. I'm going to move it to break even. There we go. Now we are here at this EMA where it can bounce from, so I'm even going to move my stop down a little bit further into profit. We're at about a 2-to-1 trade here. UVXY could reject off the prior day low. We're going to watch that one close because that would bounce the market bigly. Okay, moving my stop a little more. Boom, boom, there we go. That's how you short the fucking market. Sorry, got a little excited. I'm going to go ahead and take that off there. That is a 3R trade. Took it off because you see this EMA right here where we've been trending off of all day. That was a $60 scalp on 1 micro. Now we could even see continuation here, but I don't know. That was a good exit. Oil got a bounce, but it's still not back above 99 where it rejected from here. I think that was a pretty smart trade, if I do say so myself. All right, let me sit back and let me see what happens. Make sure I get my flatten all button on there. That's an important button to have. Will the market get the bounce from the trend line? Sorry, from the EMA. This is the 20. I'm seeing UVXY getting a 52 rejection. Could be an interesting bounce situation, but here we are in the middle of the range. I don't love it. There's a bigger bounce on the UVXY. Now, we do have this sort of like counter trend line here, which was previously the uptrend. It could test even as high as this EMA at the 5280s, and then it could reject. That could be a gnarly bounce on the market. But right now, market's calling bullshit on this whole move. False breakout. Somebody called it. Who was that? Okay. Now we've got a little cluster of EMAs here, which is the VWAP and a special EMA that I like to use as a reversal. Could be convinced that maybe go long here. Nope. Huge dump. Huge dump. Now again, I exited here at 160. We're at 140. I missed out on 20 points. I don't feel bad about it. I really don't. I thought that was a pretty smart trade. All right, I'm long off of this EMA cluster here. We got 3. We should be able to get a little bit of a bounce here. If we see this top, yep, there's the top wick forming. Okay, VIX is looking a little bottomy though. The VIX, not the UVXY. UVXY already got the pop. Now if the VIX gets a pop, that's something to watch out for. $52.17 on the UVXY, 52 being the pre-market that we need to break back below. Not happening. I added off my EMA and VWAP taps. I'm just going to go ahead and take this out. I'm not super confident on this bounce. All right, got about a $30 profit off of that. We're up $80 on the day. Still seeing this basing happening here above pre-market high, which makes me a little wary on a long. Interesting how it rejected right off of my trend line, y'all. I like that top wick on there. Still not super convinced that this isn't a false breakout. This would typically where I'd get all bulled up and be like, we're going back to the top, y'all. We bounced. But I got my scalp. I'm going to wait and see if anything breaks my levels, and then I can chase. Right now, this looks like a big fakeroo. Fakerson on the market. I think we're going down, y'all. False breakout market. That would be the breakout. And it tweezer topped, failed. Testing that trend line and the EMAs. Again, we need the UVXY to go red on this candle and dip below the pre-market high, and then we'll see about prior day low. They're pretty close together, but it would at least give the market a little bounce up to test those 2-minute EMAs that I look at over here. All right, I'm long. It was a chase. Out of 1 on the EMA tap. Out of 2. That was a $4 trade. That's not that exciting. I don't have a lot of faith to the long side, so I'm in and out. Up 84.32 on this account. UVXY gapped down on that on the 2-minute. Oil rejected off 99.50. Okay, that's what I wanted to see off the UVXY, but we have not broken down below the levels where it can bounce from. So again, this is indicative of the false breakout. Now we're going to test it again. And if we do not make a new high, then I am short biased the rest of the day. Let's find out what happens. Oil rejected 99.50, but then bounced off of 99. I'm prepared to go short again. Okay, UVXY getting continuation downside. We're about to test the high. Nope. Okay, below half gap. Whoa, big moves, big moves, big moves. I shorted it. Okay. Taking just... All right. All right, I took it out at $20 profit. It was just a scalp. We're up 106 on the day. I'm gonna jump over to my 6x6, or sorry, 8x8 screen. I'm seeing NVIDIA get a push. SPY over 654. That was a 654 test. That's one of my bullish indicators on the day. Let's go back to our screen that we can actually see. Is everything working okay over there? Everything looking good? Whoa, there went that short. Could have held it. Could have held it. That was 40 more points. I got it for 30. It's okay. Now, we did not break the high really convincingly. We did technically break it. Made a new high. It's hard to judge there. Got to bounce on the UVXY. That was like a good 50-cent bounce. That's pretty serious. And we're testing the prior day low. I need to see a 5-minute candle close below one of those levels to have really good conviction. So far, I'm still a little bit short-minded. So what do we do with this candle right here? We did not quite get to the tippy tip of the 45, did we? Oh, let's take it. Take it to the 1 minute. We tested it and failed it. We tested and failed it. 246. Tested it to the tick. I am short-minded. 40-point dump right off of it, too. I got it about halfway. Definitely have to beat this wick now. That's all we need to look at over here. It's just the battle of this candle. Are we going to go below here, which was SPY 530, right? Right? Oh, down here is SPY 540. No, SPY 654? Yes, 654. We even got down to 653 at 1038. 1036. Yep, that's our range right here. All about this range. We're watching this range, we're watching this range, we're watching this range. Try to go short again if no. The XY is starting to break a little bit. That was an interesting momentum move. Could have been a news candle. Not hearing any news in my squawk, which is going on in my ear. Shout out TTP on the twits. Still talking about ceasefires. Still don't know if we get above that candle. I'm short again. And watch this. I'm just going to risk to the top of there. Watching UVXY still probe lower. Lots of movement there. Makes it a difficult short. Seeing a lot of bounciness here. One more candle. All right, I'm out for $14 there. I don't love it. I'm seeing this kind of frozen over here. That tells me that there could be more dump incoming. It's just not updating. 51.35. It's just stuck there. It's hard to know what's going to happen next. All right, we're up 119 on the day. That's fun times. Still in the range. Still just watching the range. Now, again, if we get a good dump on UVXY, I will take the long. I'm seeing oil at 99. It could reject off 99, and that could be our big dump on UVXY, and that takes us to that new high of day, 24,204. Let's see what happens. 99 on oil. We could get a bounce off of 200 right here and get a big move up. Oil under 99 momentarily. Will it have continuation? I'm ready to go long. If so, VIX looks like it's putting in a bottom. This could be the big dump. UVXY pops, needs to test the half gap. Still looking for the UVXY flush. Could be fun. Could be fun. We could try it. I think we got to break through that MHP if we're going to have any hope of getting above the 24,250 area where we've been just selling from. Watching for the long to develop. Oil is at 98.96 with putting in a little bit of a hanging man on the 5 early in the candle. All right, UVXY getting some motion. VIX with a top wick near the bottom. Oil at 99. We've seen two strong moves to the upside. I don't know if you guys can see this volume. You can probably see it over here. We've got push to the upside with volume, push to the upside with volume, push to the upside with volume, rejected every single time. We're going to need tremendous volume to go higher. Okay, EMA test over here. That could be an interesting entry, although I prefer it down here in the 30s, if I'm being honest. I would love it even down in the 100s even more. There's a bounce with a UVXY top wick. Okay, it's testing the EMA. Now, what I'm not seeing, what I just described that I needed to see, is we need some friggin' volume, man. This volume is not getting us anywhere. UVXY, it's heading a little lower, but it's just going to test the MHP. We could even make another false breakout on the market. But I think that top wick tells the story. Let's see what happens. We start seeing another top wick, I will go short again. Oil under 98. We're at 205-ish. Seeing the top wick I talked about. $242 would be the stop up there. Seeing a little bottom wickage on the UVXY. The volume's diminishing on the UVXY, so that move may be concluding. We're at 214 on the market. $218. There's the 51 tap on the UVXY. We're below 51. Will we wick up? Didn't make a new high. I'm short. And watch this. Check out my risk. I'm risking $50. UVXY getting that 51 bounce. Let's see what happens. I can cut it early if I see the UVXY just dump like that. It's trying to bounce, not putting it in. VIX kind of gave us a dump too. Oil is at 99. They'll wonder if we reject again up here. 230s. Okay, there's the dump on the UVXY that I was afraid of. All right, I added at the tippity top. Give it a little breathing room. Watching close on the UVXY. We're well below that MHP, but it doesn't tend to move in a straight line. VIX gapped a little bit down. Okay, there's the dump we wanted. Yes, please. Yes, please. Out one. Stop. Is it profits? Oh, but look at that bounce. That was a good exit. It could stop me out. I won't be mad because this could be heading up. Because that UVXY did get below my level. I'm glad I added. Still get like a $20 trade out of it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Wow, look at that bounce. Look at that bounce. Is it gonna take me out? Gonna take me out in profit? There it was. Prepared to re-enter if I see any funny business over there on the UVXY with some bottom wickage. But right now, it looks like we're about to make a new high of day. And rejecting. Oh, it's a good stop out. Okay, there's a rejection. If they fill up that wick, I will be very surprised. And again, I'm not risking a whole lot. Seeing oil over 99 again. Oh, 98.98. Stop me out. Oh, and then immediately wicked again. That's so silly. Playing around our entry. Oh, whoa. Velocity coming in. See, VIX still in decline. Oil still hanging out at 90, 99 though. This is what's interesting to me. We're not getting a dump on oil. I don't know why we'd be pushing up. Nothing is solved in the world. Wow, big push. Big push. Bigger push. Wow. In the 250s, that's over the Trump wick. Watching the top wick developing. And size down if I start to see more extension to the upside. UVXY is heading southward. Okay, added a few more up there at the top. Looking for a break-even close. Wow, bounced off our entry. That sucks. All right, take $26 off of that. I wasn't right on my initial entry, so I didn't want to push my luck up there. Do you see this tweezery top, though? I could re-enter short. We're at the 240s. This would be the real false breakout here. Seeing a little green on the UVXY. I'm short two more. Still very bouncy here, though. Remember, this was our previous entry area where it bounced off of before it went higher, before I had to average up, down, depending on how you look at it. Let's see if we lose this level. There we go. I'm out one for a $10 profit, and I'm going to just set my other one at break even because I think we could mega bounce from here. We see a little rejectee happening over here on the UVXY, and we go way higher. This is the last chance for the shorts, in my opinion. And again, we made a little bit of a higher high from the Trump news candle, which is at 242. Love it. Shorting today. Not my style. Oh, took me out. Up 150 on the day. Now, I'm seeing a lot of movement here. I'm tempted to like size up a little bit. There's the big bounce that I was worried about. If we see some top wicks forming on it, then I will short it again. Oil under 98. Not seeing top wick. In fact, I see a top wick on the UVXY. That tells me that we're actually going to go make a higher high before we start to reject. Let's look at where that rejection could come. If it's not here, we're actually just testing this high is what we're doing right now. We're above it. Bullish, in my opinion. Hard to think about a short here. Where else could we short from up 24s? We looked at this before. We're at 24,255. Yes, it was not a short. Tweezer top is tempting, but I didn't take it. It does feel like every single new high gets a new top wick, though. But that's confirmation over the Trump wick. Remember, this was an equal high to the Trump wick. So I need to see it's back below there to really want to get involved. Unless UVXY puts in a real nice bottom. Which it's kind of doing. Uh-oh, I shorted. All right, we're looking at the 24.5s. Hey, yo, this is where we rejected from the 24.40s again. This was from, what, Thursday of last week? Fucking Thursday. Fucking burn me. And this is also where we sold off from. 2470 is where we sold off from on the previous friggin' Friday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, this is a very active area. I'm glad to be short here. Still watching UVXY to see if it betrays me, though. It could be a false signal that that was not actually the bottom. It's got a bit of a doji now over on the 2-minute. All right. Where are you? Where are you? Market is pushing, however. The 260s. 270 was our next level of resistance. Let's see if we can get a little action there. Added at 268. Front ran the short a little bit. 270s being our resistance area. Still watching the UVXY. Not really giving me the push that I wanted to see there. All right, here's the breakdown I wanted to see. There we go. There we go. Out one, that was about a $5 profit, and the other one is set in profit. It was an $8 profit on that first one. So all I did was wiggle around my one contract cost basis so that I could be short from the tippity tip of the top. Whoa, there's another big bounce. We're seeing some action coming in. Oh, top of the hour, 11 a.m. New liquidity coming into the market. Let's see what happens. Okay, watching the UVXY and the VIX. 23.92 on the VIX. I'm short again. I feel like that pump, that last little bounce, was actually a stop run for shorts. Now, how much would I risk on that idea? Would I risk $33? It's been bouncing off this EMA the whole time, but if we were to lose it, it's got a long way down to go. And if we make a higher high, I'll abandon this idea. Still very bouncy off of the EMA. It's just riding that 1 minute. Not seeing a lot of love from the UVXY. There's the new high. Will we sell it? Whoa. There we are. Waked me out. I told you it was a stop run. Oh, I shorted big. Uh-oh. Big push on the market. Wow, tough time to be short, right, guys? Remember, we're just in the 70s. There's resistance here. Like that top wick. Seeing a 99 rejection on oil, though. New lows on UVXY. Look at that top wick though, off the 70s resistance. Briefly green. Now we're green. Now we're big green. We're a little far from that EMA. We might come down and tap it. That would be my exit. VIX is dumping. There we go. Okay, still short 3. Oh, this is actually Rocket Scooter upper DD band. It's a great place to be short from. Checking in over on my individual names. NVIDIA, not above pre-market high yet. Qs, however, are testing the pre-market high. So we must be exactly at the Trump candle. That's the short I wanted. Stop it. Profit. Which I was still in 10, but I took my profits early. It's fighting the trend here, but we may have top ticked the market. Technically, we're above the pre-market high on Qs right here, but put in a real nasty long rope hanging man. Another big bounce. Market's bouncy. So is the VIX. Stopped out. Okay. Got a little squeezed there. NVIDIA over 177. VIX not giving me the bottoming action that I wanted to see. Let's see a rejection on 177 from NVIDIA. There it is. Lots of momentum in the market right now. Risky shorts. Not going to go too big here. NVIDIA's fighting 177. If it gets a good rejection from here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Again, huge pop. I shorted it. There it is. There it is. There it is. Thank you. Thank you for coming to the market. We are faking. We're not going higher. There's the EMA tap. Quick rejection off of that. All right. Still short 2. Stop is in profit. See how this EMA bounce happens. You started just seeing it starting to curl over a little bit. The oil is at 99 still. UVXY putting in a little bit of a bottom candle, but look at the resilience on this market. I'll move my stop up to the top of that candle. Risking $20. Hell of a bounce. Hell of a bounce. Midway of this candle, I'm going to take one off. Now I'm just risking $10. Took it out at a 1-to-1. Look at the bounciness. Oil's at 99.28 though. UVXY 5060. Not seeing a lot of down. I mean, the VIX continues. There's nothing that, in my mind, is justifying this momentum off of the indicators that I'm using. We're getting a push on the market. Stopped out with another freaking top wick. Do I have to short it again? I did. Those little stop hunts, those stop hunting motherfuckers. It'll be a quick scalp here. Unless I start to see something more convincing out of oil or VIX, these are just little short scalps. Remember, every single push sells back. There we go. But then it bounces. We're just chopping higher and higher and higher. Seeing a little bit of green on the VIX finally. Still riding that EMA. Okay, there's the green from the VIX. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Took one off just in case we get an insane bounce again. But look at this topping pattern. Look at where the entry is. It's a thing of beauty. Stops at break even. But I don't think we're coming back, guys. I think that was the high of the day. I mean, there's no evidence for me to think that. Could easily get a mega bounce. See that top wick on the goddamn UVXY? Not helping. Remember that I had the 24,270 level marked. Not marked, but mentally bookmarked. Mental bookmark on the rejections from last week, week before. We're all in this area. Now, we're still getting bounciness here. Way up here above EMAs. Look at the rejection on the UVXY. Dang, that's an ugly candle. Wow. Maybe we are going higher. I really thought the VIX had put in a bottom. Whatever. It is April Fool's Day. We're all going to be fools today if we try and chart this market. It's fucking insane. Market's still trying to bounce from this level. Checking in a rocket scooter. This is just a DD band test. That's what we keep bouncing off of. Right here is the DD band, which technically I should not be shorting above, but I still have my theories. Very bullish looking. Lots of top wicks on the UVXY. I'm moving my stop up. I'm going to risk $9.50 here for what could be a huge return. $12.50. think we're doing everything right. We're taking our time. We're sizing small. We're defining our risk. We've had a couple of losses. We were all green trades for a minute there. I've taken a couple L's on this push up. But I'm still convinced that we're hitting into long-term resistance / where profit taking happens. Watching this 10-minute hanging man forming on the NQ. We got stuck in the 10-minute, but check that candle out. That could be fun times. All right, let's see what happens. Loving the top wick, baby. Now there's, of course, 6 minutes and change left in that 10-minute candle, so it's hard to feel conclusive about it. But oil is back above 99. UVXY has a little bottom wick, even in all the top wicks. Let me show you what's happening over here in the 2-minute on the UVXY. And again, this market could just friggin' pop all the way up. We've been rejecting this EMA all the way down. In fact, I can even show you, where is that? The 10 EMA is what's currently, check this out. Where'd you go? It's not that one. That one. What? There it is, UVXY. Come on now. We break through this DD band. We'd have a nice short happening. Okay. Heading down into the 60s. There's a dump. Does it have legs? Where my cursor is right here on the screen. Can y'all see that? Not quite. Okay, here. Now you can see it. Where my cursor is right here is the DD band. It's what we're bouncing off of every time we come down here. So this is a tough short because this is an extremely strong test for the breakout. But if we break below, that is an excellent sign for more continuation to the downside. Still getting the bounce though. Market might be starting to roll over. You can see this green EMA on my screen is starting to curl down. It's starting to coil. A little bit of a coil to the downside. There's our DD band. Let's watch what happens when we interact with it. We could get a mega bounce. We're at 260. Where exactly is our DD band? Yep, it bounced off of it. Okay. Okay, the NQ DD band. Upper 160? 24, 160. Okay, all right. That was a little bit higher. Okay. 24, 160 is the DD band. Still bouncing off of it. We are below the EMA, however. You can see where my cursor is. That's going to be the line in the sand. We break down below that convincingly, and we have put in the high of the day. I see UVXY straight dumping, though. Oh, but it got a bottom wick. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. VIX kind of put in a little bit of a bottom as well. I like what I'm seeing over here. Let's see what goes on. Still bouncing off the DD band, but I don't know. Let me shrink that a little bit so you can see my position better. We're currently at a 3R. I'll move it down to a 1-to-1. Still not really getting a convincing breakdown under the 60 level. And to bounce off 60 again. All right, I'm taking the profit there. It had a little bit of momentum behind that bounce. Let's see if I'm right. Yep. That was a good exit. It did have a bit of legs on the bounce. I'm seeing VIX still. This is about a 4R trade, by the way. VIX still dumping. Ready to reshort. In the rejection on oil, if we get below 99, then this will have much more legs to the upside. We're back at the 24,275 region where I suspected that resistance existed. The UVXY is just not playing along. We are dumping hard. This should be sending the market, but the fact that it's not tells me that we might be near a bigger resistance. Let's find out. Uh-oh, Squawk died. Squawk died. I'm ready to re-enter shorts. I'm back in one short. We should be bouncing way, way more based on what the VIX is doing right now. Oh, there it is. I thought the market was full of shit, but no, it was me. I do see also over here. Oh, you know what? I bet I can draw with you, motherfucker. Yeah. Let me draw on you. Let me draw on you. Let me draw the head and double shoulder. Nice. Drawings. They're fun. Don't know why that one ended up there. Don't worry about that guy. Okay. Added. Still watching that 99 level on oil. We can break hard below. I'm seeing lots of top wicks over there in the 99s. Now, it's always on head and shoulders. Your stop is the scalp. Oh, wait, I'm still drawing. Whoops. Whoops. You over here. You up there. Bouncing off of our entry. Prepared to add again. Saw a little bit of green on the VIX. Now it's not looking as hot. I added at the top of the shoulder. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take off one. I'm gonna take off two, and look at where our cost basis is. We're already at a 1R trade. Look at that. Just moving it into break even, because again, we could mega bounce. We could get a monkey bounce here off of this EMA we've been riding all day. But I think we just confirmed the head and shoulders on the 1 minute chart playing out now. Let's go at a little bit of a higher time frame. Let's see the 2 minute. It's even clearer on the 2 minute chart. You're welcome. That is an excellent trade to end the day on, I say. Bounce on the UVXY, but then it gapped a little lower, testing this EMA. We are still above the 60 level. This is down here where we bounced from. Still very bouncy. UVXY did not put in the bottom that I wanted it to. Put in the bottom is a little bit of a tough phrase, but you know what I mean. Phrasing. Prepare to be stopped. Oh, kind of wicked off of our stop. Still seeing lower lows in the UVXY. Actually, move this up to the tippity top again. Still, I'm seeing the push. Don't worry, I see the push above DD band. I see it. Look at that big old engulfing candle there. You ever get the feeling you're fighting the trend and taking out pennies in front of the steamroller? I feel that way sometimes. Bottom wick, UVXY. Like what I'm seeing out of UVXY, I'm going to let this trade breathe even a little bit more. There we go. That's why we let it breathe, not stopping us out at break even. EMA tap. Out one. Now we're at break even. And look at this cost basis. You know, I'll even risk the high of the day. I'll even risk $9 on there. We're already at 2R of that. Tricky. In the 2-minute on UVXY, bit of a doji. But again, we break down there below 60. Cost basis is at 83. All right, stop is moving down to 1R. Okay. Looking nice. Looking so nice. Huge bottom wick. BXY cannot defeat that EMA, no matter how hard it tries. But look at oil at 100. Pay attention. Oil's at 100 with a top wick. That could have been the test. This could be a long. Seeing the rejection off of 100 on the oil chart. It confirms over 100, however, then we are going way down. $99.99, $99.88, $99.97. So glad we have this handy line right here. What a great idea to put that on the chart, huh? Oh, no, it's looking pretty rejecty off the 100. 99, 88, 87, 86, 85. We're falling. UVXY with a pretty nasty rejection off of its EMA. Could be prepared to get stopped out. UVXY total dumpage. Market doesn't seem to be listening though, which is weird to me. Usually that reaction is instantaneous on the market. All right, stopped out at 1R. There's the reaction that I thought I would get. Prepare to go short again. Bottom wick, UVXY. Double hanging man on the 10. All right, I'm short 2. A little bit of a worse cost basis, but I will average if we head back up to the top. Still at the 270s where I identified resistance earlier. 260s, however, is support. So we're at a little bit of a push-pull here. Let's see what happens. Wow, okay. Bounce off of 60. I took one off. Look at that bottom wick on the UVXY. I'm moving my stop way up to the top. We're on the 60 bounce, but if we break it down, it's going to be fun. Preparing a backpack. Backpack engaged on the DD band. Oil at 100.14. Up 40 bucks on the backpack, up 70, up 120, out on the backpack for $120. Thank you, backpack. 10 points. Quick 10 points on the backpack. Gotta love it. Shorting can be fun. I don't love it, but it's all right. It's okay. Moving my stop to break even over here. All right. We're at about 1R equally. You get out of here. Get out of here. Again, it's reclaiming the DD band, which is why I moved my stop down. A reclaim of DD band, which is 260, is pretty strong. Stopped out. Okay, we're up 400 on the day. We are getting there, folks. We're getting there a little bit at a time. We're not going to go too heavy. We're not going to go too light. See this rejection again off 100 on oil. This could actually be a long. We did not break that 60 level convincingly. Look at that top wick on oil. Look at us holding the DD band. UVXY bottoming though. VIX bottoming. Got to see another dump on UVXY for me to really be convinced to go long. Again, we're just at 250s, and I thought 270s were our resistance level. Oil at 99.92, 99.96. Short again. We're under the DD band. Out one, it's 10 bucks. Break even. Out two. Whoa. Getting spicy. Getting spicy. Glad I didn't take that long. Uh-oh. Goodbye, market. Oh, oil didn't confirm over 100, but the VIX is doing the thing. I did call the high of day. You're welcome. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably going to be my last trade of the day. I'd love to leave on a banger. All right, I'm out. That was a $57 one micro trade. Gotta love that. VIX is pumping. Oil is upping. I see top wicks, however. What an what an exit. Gotta love that shit. All right, we're going to keep watching here. I'm seeing Doji off 100 on oil. This could be the long that I was talking about earlier. 240? Yeah. All right, I'm long two. I just went from short to long. Really? Really? I flipped it? I flipped the script? Out of one. Another one's at break even, baby. Yeah. I'm basing this long off of this rejecty pattern on oil and the long top wick of doom on the UVXY. Okay. Another 20. This is the last trade of the day because I just flipped the script. Nice pump. Nice pump. See if we get continuation at the EMA. See if you guys can see that. I'm going to exit there. Off this EMA rejection. I think that's a pretty smart exit. We took that candle all the way up. All right, that felt good. Thank you for joining me on Trading for All Audiences. We have a green day, folks. Can't argue with that. Still not green on the week. I'm not going to pretend like this week has really been going awesome for me, but this is the turnaround day that we needed. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Adios.